there were a couple different places that. All right, so coming in today, man, there were a couple different places that I wanted to start, but this one line of yours kept playing in my mind, so I kind of wanted to address it, given the current state of things. Mm-hmm. So, 2016, TGIF, Beef Ramen. You have a line that goes, "This rap shit is not for niggas like Mach. This rap shit is for niggas like y'all."
Yeah.
And I kind of want to challenge you on that because I feel like currently you're more immersed in rap than you've ever been.
Yeah.
You have a project streaming on major platforms, which we haven't really seen from you.
Yeah.
Obviously, HBO was on SoundCloud at some point after its initial release.
Right.
But with that and you executive producing the new Droog album,
right.
You've executive produced projects for Fahim. So I feel like you have your hands deeper in the game than you have for a while.
Right.
So has that stance changed for you?
I mean, I don't think so. As far as I'm concerned, like, all of this stuff that's going on right now is organic. I never had to hyperextend myself, you know, or sprain a tear a ligament or sprain a joint or anything. I'm moving at a leisurely pace. This is just who I am. All this stuff was already in motion. Back when I said that, whatever I said, like, it's still not. I mean, I don't see too many artists, real artists, taking time out to assist their fellow artists. You know what I mean? Beyond, you know, a nigga just want to get some burn on your tape so he could boost his metrics or something like that. You know what I mean? Beyond that, like, really just, you know, being there to oversee, in a sense, and not really get in the way, but just help keep niggas on track, you know? And I think that's what an executive producer is supposed to do. Make sure motherfuckers don't forget their initial objective. You know what I mean? It's not that you can't change your mind because you're free to do whatever you want to, but I'm there to, you know, act as a sort of like a conscience, in a sense. And that's really nothing new. That's really not no rap shit, you know, unless I'm just totally out the loop, but I don't see that happening nowhere else. You know?
Yeah. And then for you and Fahim to collaborate in that form and fashion, we've become accustomed to that because of the relationship that you guys have. But for somebody like Drew, who you've worked with before, but not in this capacity, or at least not presented in that capacity, how did that relationship come to be, where it was just more than just a couple songs?
Like everything else, it has to be natural. Like, I'm not about to reach for nothing. You know what I mean? Especially not musically, artistically. So that took some time. You know what I mean? It took some time. And over time, we just eventually got to this place where that was the right thing to do. It's literally a brother asking another brother for assistance. I just so happen to be a creative genius, as well as he. So when I help him, something else is happening. You might ask your brother for a ride to the train station. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just like, you know, my brother's asking me to help him with his album. There's no real difference, you know?
And at what stage are you involved in the process? Like, does he have a finished product and then he gives it to you and it's like, let me know what you think? Or are you helping him pick beats? Like, to what extent is your executive producer hat on?
Droog is definitely He's definitely in his own world. You know, he has his own thing happening. And what I'm doing is I'm just there, like I was saying before, I'm just there to reinforce the principles. I'm there to keep the precepts diligent, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. Make sure he's always waving his flag. Make sure he doesn't drop the ball or lose sight of his initial objectives. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like, over time you get to know the person that you're interacting with. So I know, you know, in a holistic sense, I know what he wants, and he knows that I know that. So when he asks me to help him, it's just to make sure that he doesn't veer off the path. Because he's seen me travel, he's seen me traverse some of the greatest expanses, you know what I mean, some of the deepest chasms with one bound, you know, and he's seen me jump over obstacles and cut through shit like it was nothing, solid marble, you know what I mean, and I'm just there to make sure, and I know that's what he wants, because that's what I'm an expert at. And so when he taps me for my expertise, I'm just making sure that happens. You know, Droog is already coming with whatever it is already. You know, I'm just there to make sure, like, you know, he stays the course. Because this shit can get tedious. You know what I mean? The rap shit. He's not a new artist. He's not an old artist. He's definitely a young artist. And this shit is hard on young artists. You know what I mean? The business, the social metrics, you know, the interpersonal dynamics, you know, all of that shit, the peer pressure and whatnot. And I'm there to make sure that that does not permeate the creative bubble, let alone burst it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm there to make sure I protect the innocent, you know what I mean, in terms of, like, he's a pure artist. And so he deserves that, you know what I mean, a buffer. I'm there to reinforce, you know, everything that I know that he deserves plus more. And that's all I'm ever going to do for anyone, you know, that I lend my expertise to. You feel me? Because it's not something you can purchase. Because like you said before, and I can say it again because it holds true to this day. This rap shit for niggas like y'all. You know what I mean?
All right, since, you know, that's the most current thing, but even not too long ago, you know, you released a collaborative project with Muggs.
My
and I'm used to...
That's my
and I'm used to projects mostly with you know, picking beats from other people, you know, crediting them properly, beats by whoever.
Yeah.
You know, you've had a project with Earl, but
right.
This, you know, is fully produced by Muggs.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Talk to me about that process of, like, working with one producer versus just you picking beats and making a collage out of a final presentation.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it that. I mean, all right, more often than not, I find myself in a situation where I'm wearing more than one hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna take the credit for my work. You know, I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? Production is way more than making a beat. I arrange, I select, I weave, I record, I mix, I master, I execute, I produce, in that sense. Now, if you're doing all of that, then you produce. But until you're doing all of that, you're not a producer. You know, I'm really the sole conductor when I'm doing these different projects where you see me holding that title of producer, holding that title of artist, you know, holding that title of executive producer, which is also a different capacity. You know, I function in all three or four at the same time because that's what my circumstance calls for. But when I'm afforded the opportunity to kick back and just be the artist, if the synergy is present, you know what I mean? It's one thing for you to bring 110% to the table, you know, and a nigga just, you know, throwing you some shit. They don't have no direction, no vision. They don't know you. They don't really care about you. Just some beats here. Check this out. Let me know. There's no energy being put into it beyond the, you know, clicking the mouse, sending the beat. You know, we can never remove the fact that you sequence the beat and this, that, and the third, and God bless you because I don't fuck with trash anyway. But, you know, that's not production. Like Muggs is a consummate professional. You know what I mean? And definitely a producer, a true producer. You feel me? Muggs is taking trips. Muggs is pulling up on you. Muggs is traveling with the studio in the luggage. You know what I mean? I'm a busy man. And I have responsibilities, and I can't just play around on that rap shit because that's not for niggas like Mach. You feel me? I have responsibilities, like I said before, and I'm not going to get into them. I'm not going to get into any great detail, but it is what it is. You know, I'm at the point in my life where I don't have time to play around kicking freestyle with you. You feel me? Or, you know, just coming to your town or whatever's going on just to play around with you and go to your local chicken shack or whatever the you trying to do. Like, you know, that stage is over. You know what I mean? You should have caught me 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm in a different stage of my progression. So it's a breath of fresh air for me when a nigga like Muggs, he peep game. You feel me? And so he understand, like, you know, well, let me meet my brother halfway and let me contribute something to make sure that this happens. And that's what a real producer's gonna do. He's gonna make it easy for you. You know what I mean? That's why you get that title. You know what I mean? That's where you earn that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was definitely like something different for me to where, like, you know, I'm not the one putting everything into it. You know what I mean? You can cry and bellyache all you want to, but like my nigga, just because you I don't know, you raised the cow don't mean you take credit for, you know, Peter Luger is not giving credit, you know, to the goddamn to the farm or whatever where the, you know, the ranch where the cow came from, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, Peter Luger is producing the steak. You feel what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, it's USDA, it's this and that, it's Kobe, you know what I mean? They'll let you know where it comes from. Same way I'll let you know. I'll let you know who made the beat. But, you know, as far as that production and that producing goes, you know, that's me wearing that hat, you know what I mean? Unless you actually produced it. And, yeah, it was different with Muggs. Like, you know, like I said, he pull up, you know what I mean? He's fucking going back and forth. He's recording. He's staying up 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's real. You know what I mean? And that, you know, in that sense, and like, I don't mind reciprocating the same love. You know what I mean? Reciprocate the love hardy. You feel me? I'm gonna pull up on you then, and I'm gonna help you do this and that and whatever you need to do because I'm gonna see that okay, you're investing in this process. You know what I'm saying? Beyond just like, you know, sending me a photo or whatever the fuck y'all be doing and shit, you feel me? Like, that's not production, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why people think that it's anything less than respect for me to even acknowledge your contribution. I acknowledge it in the sense that it's felt, you know what I mean? I acknowledge it for the impact that it's made, but I can't go beyond that. Because that would just be like straight up like gas. You feel me? Like, and we not doing that these days, man. You gotta put the work in to get it, you know what I mean? You don't just just because you go to college don't mean you get a degree, my nigga. You actually gotta put the work in, you feel me? Of course, I can't deny you for being a student. You know what I mean? I can't deny you for having a certain amount of credits, but my nigga, until you graduate, you ain't graduate. You know what I mean? So it's really that simple, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, Quincy Jones, you know, in as much as Quincy Jones ain't shit without his players, and you know what I mean, Motown ain't shit without the players, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Clyde Stubblefield, like, you need that man on the drums. You never seen Clyde Stubblefield crying about, you know, oh, like, my nigga, you the drummer, right? He sequenced the drums. Let's take it. Let's take that, extrapolate it forward in time, and bring it to the present where we got these electronic devices. And you know what I mean? Nobody's trying to remove you from your space and time. You know what I mean? Your role that you play. Like, yeah, you programming drums. That's what's up. Beats by so and so, but nothing more. You feel me? Because then where does that leave me? So now I'm working for you. Then what's that? Raping you records? What was that? Like, nah, we ain't doing that. You feel me? You gonna get yours, I'm gonna get mine. You know what I mean? And then if we get that far, maybe you can produce something for me one day, which I'm totally open to. You know what I mean? I'm open to people earning their keep because nothing was ever given to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not into that. You feel me? The same thing with my brother Fahim. Like, yo, you don't see Fahim bugging about that shit. You feel me? Because he already understand what it is.
And then you use the term pull up as it related to Muggs, how he pulls up on you with the studio.
Yes.
But you recently reciprocated that when Cypress Hill was being honored with the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Being in that moment or experiencing that moment, has it changed for you the way you think about the work that you put forward? Like, have you begun to think about, like, legacy and the kind of impact you're going to leave with the projects that you've put out?
Definitely with that type of force. You know, Muggs is a force to be reckoned with, you know what I mean? And with that type of energy, you know, clear and present energy, you know, in my life, in my cipher, definitely I sit back and I reflect. Like, I was just telling the homie today, I was like, yo, my I had to sit back and think about Cypress Hill and how hard it must have been for Cypress Hill to come up, especially in that era. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into it. If you know, you know. But it's like, wow. You know what I mean? And like, my nigga, like, 30 plus years late, like, this is really 30 for 30, like, no bullshit. On some real, like, I don't know what they mean on ESPN when that shit comes up, because I don't really watch all that shit. But you know, the homies, you know, they sick, they addicted to that shit. So I'm gonna see it, you know what I mean? Because I'm a real nigga. I got homies and shit. But my bros fuck with that. But man, for me, when I think of Muggs, I think 30 for 30. I think, goddamn, 30 plus years and shit, you feel me? And it's like, you know, just now getting a star on a walk, it's like that's the least they could fucking do. You know what I mean? So when I was there, I was more so there on some, yeah, nigga, fuck you mean? You know what I mean? Like, in that sense, because like I really see what I see what you really got to put in just to get even this much out. You know what I mean? You know. But I think much more is to come. You know, like I was telling them, I was like, yeah, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, bro. Dead ass. You feel me? My nigga Muggs a rock star, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's so cool. Man, he really fucked it up for a lot of niggas. You know what I mean? Like the way he carry himself. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, why should I have to deal with anything less than a genuine soul? Like, I don't have to deal with nothing else. Like, that's someone that been in the game for 30 plus years, really in the game. And this nigga don't act like no f***ing, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you niggas get your manners from? You feel me? Like, Muggs cool. So it's like, you know, and energy like that, when it come in your life, it help reinforce your suspicions. You know what I mean? And not even that, validate them. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to stay suspicious. You want to get to the point to where you're like, eureka, I've got it. You know what I mean? I was right all along. You know what I mean? That punctuation is everything. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think about shit like that anymore. Like, damn, like it's never gonna be like, oh, is it me? Is he dead? Is he dead? Like, you know what I mean? Fuck you mean is he dead? So it's like, you know, I don't have any you know, I don't have any like questions anymore. It's just like, yo, nothing but punctuation, exclamation, punto final, you know, period. You know what I mean? Period.
He said I barely been home for a month, but I'm already alone because my house is not a home, it's just a spot. I miss my mother, Mach. I said I know, God.
Thank God.
It ain't no free rides, man. For all my pretensions, still mix up tenses. Thought I was pensive till you seen the light on the pen tip. Hypertensive, this thing of ours, it's no pensions. Jay said I'm about $1, what the fuck this 50-cent shit? Never forget. Shakespearean vengeance, rest assured there's curtains at the ending. Don't talk about love that shit expensive. You don't know what it costs just to keep the friendship. HBO original print hanging near the entrance. Foyer, if you prefer, freight paid by ghosts sitting top those benches. Die deep in the trenches, they got stripes and tin medals. You chuckle, but time turned many a pot to a kettle. Regardless, he kept the balance in the ledger. Fuck a stash, life and death, top drawer of the dresser. Everybody got to go, but yo, no pressure. Took the lectern at the lecture, half hoping for Malcolm at the Audubon, but nobody made the effort. Modern day Christ waiting for the Romans every night. They never came, worked a 9 to 5 his whole life. Died once, feeling cheated, couldn't put his finger on it. Operation Stackola over the chronic. Just my 2 cents, pay no mind, it cost you nothing. But maybe you gotta come out of pocket to appreciate something. The numbers wasn't what you expected to see, huh? Sometimes it's COD, sometimes you pay years later in ways you never even dreamed.
My nigga don't sleep, you already asleep. I'ma dream a little dream, I'ma put it in a picture, make it hologram flame. I'm a little bit convinced them niggas all in bad shape. What's the benefits of all of that weight? Ain't no goofy ass waiting on no label, nigga, all of that straight. Niggas falling back way, all the way into the boonies. Ain't no honoring avoiding man's fate. Neighbors drawing mad drapes, high noon, high as hell. Will Latoya rather call a cat bait? Gotta afford to have bait. Cause if my Honda collide with a rape, it'll probably turn my daughter head gray. I come all the cash beige. Blase, the other side of my mind is wishing karma had legs. Make a spoiled brat pay for the sins of the father. Good kids getting lined up like the barber had space. Nigga marble that cake, Band-Aid ain't doing nada for an autograph blade. Fast pace, disinfectant spray, then it's catch case. Watch the heifers hate, then it's hash haze, half bait. That's great, that way. I never thought I was headed that way. Back pay for all the cotton and sugar and all the tobacco and all the wave, cash wave, crash wave, crash waves.
Thank God.
Well, speaking of the record deal, that's actually one of the points that I wanted to get to next. Just the way you carry yourself business wise. So
Yes.
HBO, direct to consumer,
Yes.
Instagram DM.
Yes.
187 copies, $300 a piece for the hard copy. Then that transition to you having a life on Bandcamp. That transition to you having Mach-Hommy.com.
Yeah.
And then now we see you in the realm where you might be able to get a mock record on Fat Beats, or
Right.
The Muggs record is on soulassassins.com.
Right.
It's on the major streaming platforms.
Right.
Talk to me about these transitions each step of the way, and like, I don't know if you would describe them as evolving,
Yes,
or,
yes.
or just like different steps in the process. Like,
Right. I mean, it's all relative. Evolution is a good word. But I don't think it's as special as people like to think it is. Like, your baby evolves every day. You blink and the baby's 5 years old. You blink again, the baby's 10 years old, just physically. You know what I mean? So you're evolving on levels that you're not even aware of at every moment. Skin cells are falling off and new skin cells are growing. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely evolution, but don't put it in this place where it's something to aim for. That's what just happens if you live. To exist is to evolve. Once you go away, it's still, in some sense, the idea that you left behind of you is evolving. Look at how they doing Mike. One day, Mike is getting slammed. Next day, niggas is taking the movie off the TV, and now people taking the shit off their social media. I mean, you're always evolving. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's nothing special. Insofar as that goes, if you even look at the things that I've said before regarding social media, I mean, not social media, but streaming and digital and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third, and, distribution and this, that, and the third. All I ever said was that it has to make sense to me from where I stand, because I'm not here to do it your way. That's not what Mach-Hommy's not that. So, if you want to meet me where I live, then I'm never going to have a problem doing any of that shit. You feel me? It just has to make sense to me. It has to make sense to me creatively. It has to make sense to me financially, and once that happens, like, it's smooth, you feel me? So yes, evolution, but not in the sense to where, like, we have to have an evolution party. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to celebrate that. That was bound to happen. You feel me? I make my mark. I stake my claim. I set my goals. I surpass my goals. I get my bag. I go home. I break bread with the fam. That's just natural shit. Everybody's doing that every day, from someone that has a traditional 9-to-5 to a prolific artist. Like, everyone's always evolving. So, that was just natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that, like I said, it comes with time. The same way a baby can't walk, is crawling. Next thing you know, you blink, the baby's fucking riding a bike. Same shit. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it because it wasn't the right time. You feel me? In that sense, I was crawling, because in order for me to do something, I got to have control. You're not going to see a baby walk until it has control of its gait, balance, posture, all of that. You feel me? First, the baby got to learn how to hold his head up. You know what I mean? I see a lot of you bobblehead ass niggas trying to fucking ride bikes and shit, and you could barely stand on your 2 feet. So it's like, and then when you get swept up in this fucking tidal wave, no pun intended, then you looking crazy out here. You know what I mean? Chasing the wave, chasing the texture. You know what I mean? Whereas, if you would have just put one foot in front of the other, it might have looked different. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers want to wonder why my shit move how I move and I get where I get. It's because I'm moving with a modicum of decency and order, as maybe you should. You should investigate trying to do that. You know what I mean? Other than wondering why your shit is like that and Mach-Hommy shit is like this. You feel me? It's because I took the pains. You know what I mean? Definitely. I definitely took my time. You know what I mean? For sure.
Another thing I wanted to touch on, and you actually played a record a bit ago.
Yeah.
With an intro that touches on this very thing. It talks about how long does it take to get famous.
Right.
So I wanted to talk to you about fame as someone who seemingly is not interested, or I don't know if you go out of your way per se to avoid it, but
right.
But with each passing year over like the last 4 or 5 years,
yes,
you've grown in popularity.
Yes.
But now you're at this point where people want to know what your face look like. They want to know what your real name is, when your birthday is.
Yeah.
They're recognizing you on the street if they have seen you before.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So how are you dealing with that as someone who doesn't seem...
I mean, surprisingly well, even unto my own self, because it seems to me that I'm attracting like-minded individuals. You know what I mean? Parallel, like propel, like the type of folks that I'm attracting to myself are a different breed, and it's been a pleasant journey thus far, because I'm meeting niggas and they really serious people that got shit to do. Like I'm not getting this. Like I don't know, man. Like I have a feeling that these are people with responsibilities, family, shit to do, jobs, car notes to pay, and they fucking taking their time out to come see what I'm doing. And like, you know, it's overwhelming to say the least. But I got big shoulders, so I could hold it. I could figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm surprisingly refreshed by every last encounter has been simply positive. You know what I mean? Like, and nothing less. So it's just like, yo, I'm honored that niggas is honored. I don't even know how else to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a different kind of artist. So if you really into me, like, you really fucking with me. Because you gotta listen. You gotta take the time to get to know me. You feel me? Like, yeah, so it's like, you know, and I see niggas taking the time to get to know me. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And speaking of the time they get to know you, like, most of the time that we link up, we hardly ever even talk music specifically in that way. But I definitely
what I said, Ngozi, what about that 419? You got to take your time to get to know me. Damn, niggas don't know about that. You feel me? You know what I mean? Shout out my Lagos niggas. You feel me? Real nigga shit. You know who you is. You know what it do.
But I've had a couple questions for a while, like, and I brought this up earlier on a ride over, or a couple rides over. Social media and 1080p, like, they've been sitting fresh in my mind because I feel like social media could perhaps be a sequel of sorts, or a continuation of sorts to 1080p. You know, just the similarities in the chorus, and what they're echoing.
Well, shit, man. With time not being a linear thing, being circular, in the sense of a spiral being circular, it's only natural that 1080p come back up. You feel me? On some Fibonacci sequence, on some golden spiral shit, 1080p finna come back up. You know what I mean? But me being, you know, an entity that functions in the sense of up and up and up, you know, it's just gonna come back in a different sense, but it's coming back. You feel me? Fuck you is gonna come back. You feel me? Goddamn, what's my other shit? Bandana's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? All that shit's coming back around. Rolf Beeler's gonna come back around. You know what I'm saying? The shake, pull up, you shake the match did. That's coming back around. So yeah, it could very well be the way you said it. You know what I mean? But that's not for me to validate or reject. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? All of this shit can exist at the same time. No one has to be right. You know what I mean? Especially with because these things that I create, they're meant to free you. You know what I mean? So I'm not finna tell you how to receive it. Never. You know what I mean? I could never do that.
And back to 1080p for a second. So 1080p, Regina, and
Mommy,
and Be Safe. And those are just three, but they all have the same drums. And on a couple other songs, same drums. But those are the three that are fresh in my mind. What is it about those drums specifically that made you revisit them as much as you have?
I have no idea. I didn't even realize that. That's a first for me. I'm not even approaching it in that sense. Like I maintain this, and I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times. I catch the vibe, I catch the wave, and I hang 10, and that's all it is. It ain't nothing else. You feel me? Talking to my nigga Woods one time, and he was like, yo, Mach, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, bro, I ain't got no process, bro. You feel me? I'm fucking off. You feel me? Now, who I am, I'm a serious motherfucker, so it's going to come out. It's going to reflect who I am, whatever I do. But I'm not thinking about this shit. You feel me? I always think about who I am, and so it reflects in that, but it's not that. You know what I mean? I've thought about what I am and what I mean to me and what I want to mean to those around me. And that's what creates the atmosphere for the expression. You know what I'm saying? It's really self. You know what I mean? You know, self-centeredness. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And not with that diminutive undertone and that negative taint. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with being centered in self? What's wrong with leaning upon one's own understanding? What other understanding are you supposed to have? How can you even consider something outside of self before you've thoroughly considered, you know what I mean, and tested your own theories, achieved your own objectives? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, the music comes out based on that. You know what I mean? Nothing else.
And this may be in a similar pathway. You might be the only cat that I know, rap-wise, who sings more than Drake.
Damn. All right. Yeah.
So when I look at when I listen to your catalog, like, you've been doing a lot more of that. You've been doing a lot more of that lately. When did you come around to knowing that was an important part of how you approach music, the music making process? Or is it just feeling? Like you said, like you just catch the wave and you hang 10.
It's feeling. Mm-hmm. It's feeling like I hear it before I say it. Mm-hmm. And so who knows where it's coming from? It's definitely bigger than me. I've said that before. I mean, sounds like deja vu. I don't want to be a broken record, but it's definitely something I'm hearing. You know what I mean? This shit is being broadcast, and I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to recite it. You know, there's stories throughout antiquity where certain receivers have been visited by entities beyond comprehension, beyond normal comprehension in terms of dimension. You know what I mean? Shit that doesn't have no length, no width, no height. You know what I'm saying? Like shit beyond 3 dimensions. And like, you know, maybe sometimes they fall prostrate. Maybe sometimes they become possessed. And then they channel. That's it. Yeah. Ain't nothing else going on. I'm refining it. I'm becoming more selective with what I choose to recite as time goes on. You feel me? Because it's like you know, I'm hearing a million things at once. You know what I mean? But, you know, as I hone, you know, on my, you know, my talents and shit and you know, become more precise, it's just like, okay, I know what I want to repeat. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know, in the beginning, you're just trying to grab anything you can hold on to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really know what to grab now. You know what I mean? So it's cool. You know, I become a you know, a very an astute angler. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Another thing that I appreciate that you've done over the course of a couple records is how you incorporate your mom. So Apple Juice.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the record, you know what I mean? You're like, damn, my mom's told me.
Yeah.
And then on Bass and Blue.
Yeah.
You know, the chorus is your
My
mom.
mama told me you saw.
Yeah.
Now I know I should have listened to my mom.
Yeah.
Mama told me you was green. Now I know I should have listened to my mommy.
Why is that important for you to express? And also, what does she think, if she's even heard?
Mami wata. You feel me? What else?
And then once upon a time, you know, you talked to me about Bon Après-Midi.
Yep, Bon Après-Midi. Bon Après-Midi.
And how, you know, that song was influenced by your dad in terms,
For sure.
in terms of the way that, you know, you approached it.
Best slum.
How's he influenced, you know,
Man.
your music?
This is him at 4 years old in his Halloween costume as a pirate. You feel me? It's a black and white portrait that I have. But yeah, you know, that's one of my icons. You know what I mean? In my own private mythology, my own private numerology, my own private everything. He's in that pantheon. You feel me? That's one of my role models. Nigga used to be up in the morning every day, at least at 4 in the morning, practicing for at least 2-3 hours a day. What else can I say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether I wanted to hear it or not, I heard it. And, you know, trust me, some days I didn't want to hear that shit. But he knew what he was doing. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mach-Hommy. We've been doing a lot more of that lately.
Now it's time. If I told you Judas made Jesus famous, you'll probably sigh. Au revoir, Ferrari baptized. Sorry, I'm fly. You look just like a Barbie, little mommy, I'm God. You Junior Watanabe, Cardi got died. I spilled my red cap on him at the party, now the party outside. The parking lot live. I tried to pay you for your sweater, but then you was on some, now you not suave. I let the Buddha on some, now you pop pie. Blue smoke in your face, Take this mommy. I don't want your number, Aight. I ain't never been a nigga to regret what the fuck I done said. Say it. And I ain't never been a nigga to forget what the fuck I done did. I ain't never been a nigga to regret what the fuck I done said. Say it. And I ain't never been a nigga to forget what the fuck I done did. Spray it.
You know I bought an island in Cape Verde, an entire island. You can't too. I would love to.
I got shit to buy, check this. They don't believe in God till I sit goodbye the necklace. Glass top, the Lexus. Rabbits, the Benz. AMG, the Benz. Black Series, black car, fluorescence. Till this little light of mine flash mob the heavens. I be here with the Mac dog, blast bomb and brethren. I'm worse than a Manchester hooligan. They wear the wrong colors in the pub, then we do 'em in. Say the wrong shit about my club, and we shooting it. Exuberance. Bunny, if your lawn slides in violence, you wildin' with the Googling. We bubbling. Go ahead and Google slime government, or you gon' find his mugshots and flourishment. Or you gon' buy his gunshots and punishment. You let your mouth write checks that your ass can't withdraw. You looking like ass in a thong. Come on.